Hey guys, it's great to see you. Recently there's been some great upgrades on free roam tracks and also open world or very large tracks on Assetto Corsa, and I have covered some of these, but I wanted to show you in one place some of the biggest tracks or biggest free roam open world tracks on Assetto Corsa. Now there are some omissions to this doesn't cover all of them, and I know there's a couple of obvious ones that you'll think, why didn't you put those in? But that's because they're going to feature in some videos coming up in the next few weeks. So here we are then, our 15 of the biggest free roam or open world tracks on Assetto Corsa. And of course, if this is your first time here, do check out the rest of the channel. There's lots more sim racing on there, and click on that subscribe button as I'd love to have you on board. First up then, we have one of my favourites, and the reason I've put this at number 1 is that this has just had a really good update. So this is now at version 1. This is by Brun. I've covered it a number of times. 50 kilometres of road, and this is UK road. So guys, if you're not from the UK, if you were to go into the Lake District or Peak District and some of the other more rural areas in the UK, these are the kind of roads that you get, so it's really great to drive these. This has had a number of physics updates. It has got now different spawning points as well around the tracks. It is a rather large track, and even though this hasn't got working AI or cameras at the moment, this is still a fantastically solid track. It's great fun to drive. It's brilliant to try and do a hot lap all the way around it if you want to challenge yourself. These roads are great, and also as you can see here, I've got the traffic on, which really adds to the fun and adds to the difficulty as well on this twisting, winding road. The next map I'm going to feature is Union Island, and a number of you will already be playing this, but if you've not, this is an absolutely essential download. With over 30 kilometres of road on this custom made one-off island, this is the dream child of Ben O'Bro, who used to live in Cyprus. He's done a number of bits of work with Phoenix on LA Canyons and also on Pacific Coast Highway, which is actually going to feature in this video, and I know there's an update coming to that to take it to version 1 too. I think Union Island is a very cool place to chill in one of your favourite cars and just to cruise around. As you can see, the scenery is great. I really like the sound effects too as you go to different areas. There's some great ambient sounds. CSP and Sol also make it look very beautiful, and I think you really get that kind of test drive feel, and I know that's something that Ben O'Bro was looking to gain with this island. So this is fantastic, definitely one to add to your collection if you've not got it. Remember guys, all the links will be in the description below for all of the maps that you're going to see today. Next up we have a new track. This has been released very recently, and this is the Kanazawa track, 20 kilometers plus. So I do like this, even though it's not one of the biggest tracks, it has got a lot of variation in here. So this is the university area, lots of circuit racing to be had here. There's also drifting circuits, there's 2-gate tracks, there's also rock climbing, and there are rally tracks as well. So there's lots to explore here. This is also based on a real life location in Japan, which I think it's more the better for. It's very popular with drifters and racers. It's only at version 0.2.1, so I know it's going to get a lot of updates, so give it some love. It's a great addition to your free roam circuits. Next up we're at an old favourite, and this is Glencoe at 78 kilometres. Now I've covered Glencoe a couple of times, but because it's an older track and it's still at the same version it was a few years ago, a lot of you may have bypassed it. But if you have, you're missing out on a real treat here. This is set in the wonderful Highlands of Scotland, and this is a stunningly beautiful place. As you can see, the architecture and the scenery is really brought to life, and I have got it just on scattered clouds on Sol on this bit of gameplay, but you can put the rain on, the wind, and it looks really dramatic. There are lots of climbs too to go up some of the mountainsides. It really is a very cool place to explore. So I really enjoy driving Glencoe even now. It's great for older vintage cars as well, I find. Brilliant scenery and brilliant cars. Definitely one to add to your collection. This is Glencoe. Next up we have a very similar sounding track, but it is completely different, and this is Glencoe. This is 750 kilometers. So I think between this and Bella Vista, you've got two of the biggest open world free roams in Assetto Corsa. The other thing I love about Glencoe is here you can see how beautiful it looks. I really do like the way that they've put the textures and the colours together. So I'm using the same PP filter across all of these, which is Sol Extra, and I'm on CSP 1.76 preview still at the moment, and Sol 2.1.3. It is all the same settings across all of these, so you can see how the textures and the way that these have been designed is all a little bit differently. Glencoe is huge, and you can literally drive for hours and hours on here. There also is a big community around Glencoe, so if you do drop on their Discord, you can download the map, but you can also jump on some of their online servers as well, which is fantastic. So if you haven't got this, what are you waiting for? It's absolutely brilliant, and again, you're driving through the Scottish Highlands, stunning scenery. So this is Glencoe, one of the biggest at 750 kilometers. I just mentioned Bella Vista, and here we are. So Bella Vista, 280 kilometers. This is a relatively new map. It's now at version 1.8. I've covered this a number of times on my channel. I still think this is an absolutely brilliant map. And one of the great things about it is you can drive anywhere. I know a lot of maps you can do that now, but for one this size, to be able to drive across the country in a 4x4, go wherever you want to, it is brilliant. Some of the changes as they've gone up to version 1.8 include a number of graphical fixes and of course new spawn points. Because this map is so huge, there are various spawn points that you can actually go onto there. I also know that there's some rallying tracks on there now, and there's more in the pipeline to come. This is one of the few mods today that is a paid for mod. I think it's €6 or €7, so do drop on the webpage. It's definitely worth downloading, and it's been updated all the time. And these vistas here just give you some idea of just how huge this is. So it's great for multiplayer too. You may have all seen too that I'm driving the same Porsche in all of these maps. So this is the 911 Porsche 911 993 by A3DR. This is the Canyon spec. Really love this car. Fantastic brake horsepower, handles really well, looks gorgeous. Okay, then let's go on to one of the biggies that you'll all know, and this is Shitoko at 190 kilometers. I have covered Shitoko a number of times, and indeed the Shitoko videos I've got on the channel are some of my most popular. They do help you to set up Shitoko how it should be, and especially with traffic. And remember guys that you do need the latest versions to go online on the online service. That's 0.91 at the moment for the track, and it's also 2.7 for the car pack. I do want to give a big shout out as well to my friend Slaptrain. He recommended a couple of my videos on his channel, and that really helped me out, so thank you Slaptrain. And really guys, if you've not played Shitoko yet, just look at the details. If you've not got this, absolutely download it, drop on the Discord. The guys are really friendly there, but they do take their racing seriously. You will also find Shitoko periodically coming on my servers, so I've now got 2 online race servers. Hippie, he's a fantastic member of my Discord, is running race server 1, and you will see that if you're on Discord or on my community channel. And then on server 2 there's going to be sporadic racing in different areas, and Shitoko and other free roams are also going to be on there, so do check out the community pages or the Discord links for all of those when they come available. The next map has caused a bit of a stir also in the Assetto Corsa community. This is Sydney West, which is over 100 kilometers of road. So this is based on real life locations in West Sydney, and I've had a number of people contact me and say, I used to go to that garage, I used to drive down that road, or I used to go to that line of shops. It's also great when you're driving with a number of Australian based cars, and if you want more details on these, then I've also shown them on a number of videos on my channel, so do check those out. I do love this map though because it is so large, and it's also got full CSP integration, so it's got great rain effects on it, it's got all the full grass effects, and as well it looks great with all the Sol weather. If you don't think 100 kilometers of roads is very big, just look at some of these vistas. It is huge, it is a massive place. And also you can see that I've got full traffic on here on a number of these bits of gameplay. The traffic is fantastic, so on a number of these free roam maps, if they've got traffic integration on CSP, it makes driving them even better. If you want to know how to set traffic up, do check out some of my other videos, or drop a message in the comments below, and I always take a read of all your comments, even though I don't have time to reply to all of them. But if you do want to see a traffic and how to set traffic up on Assetto Corsa, then guys, I'll put a video together for you for that. The other thing just to mention about this map, it is a paid for mod, but you also get access to their Patreon site and a number of other mods that are in development, so I will drop all the details in the links below. The next map is something a little bit from left field, but bear with me, this is ACP Quattro with over 100 kilometers of road. Now the reason this one's different is it's designed by Simtrax, and they've actually put 4 different maps together and combined them into this one large free roam. It is a little bit older now and it is a bit rough around the edges, but it is still fantastic to drive. So the roads are great, and also there's a lot of variation in where you will go in their cars. So this is ACP Quattro, and again the link is in the description. Next up we have Mount Stenth. Now this is by CE Sniper, and it was converted to Assetto Corsa by RMI, who has done a number of fantastic tracks, as you probably know. So this is just over 11 kilometers, and I just really like the flow of this map. I have covered it before again, but it's one of those little hidden gems that I don't think everybody has actually driven. And of course there are a number of tracks out there for Assetto Corsa, literally thousands of tracks. So Mount Stenth is done really nicely. There's a lot of cool details on there. And most importantly for this track, there's a lot of descents and climbs around this mountainscape too. So really well done, very polished, definitely one to check out, and again it looks absolutely gorgeous. The next track we're going to cover is California Coast. This is 15 kilometers long, and this is another conversion. So this is a conversion from Grid 2, so any of you guys that have played that may have seen that track actually in that gameplay. It's done really well, and again I talk about textures and the look and feel of tracks. I really like how California Coast feels. Definitely reminds me of Glencoe when you look at the colours and the way that they've put the textures together. Anyway, fantastic to drive. Add it to your collection. It's another 15 kilometers of great coastal roads to cruise in your favourite car. Next we're at Emerald Bay, and Emerald Bay is over 14 kilometers long. Covered this again on a number of videos, and I've actually flown a plane around here. If you didn't know you could fly a plane in Assetto Corsa, do check out that video on my channel. And it's a bit fiddly to get working, but it's great fun. So this has got fantastic scenery too. The one thing to remember with this, I know some of the textures look a little bit basic, but this is a beta candidate that I'm actually driving at the moment. There are some updates coming, I'm very sure, in the future, but definitely another one to add to your collection. And I do like this track because it's got a number of twisty areas, but it's also got some long straights to really stretch the legs of your car. So this is Emerald Bay. Next we're at County Wicklow in Ireland for Wicklow Mountain, 40 kilometres of track, and this has been designed partly by Jake Grafton, who we know has been involved in a number of tracks on Assetto Corsa. This is something completely different. So on this bit of footage here, I'm driving the Porsche 911 Ferrari F40 in front of me around these country roads. So there's a number of different layouts here. I think there's 7 layouts. It's 0.90 and it's just great fun. So that's either for point-to-point racing, which some of the layouts are, or some of the circuit racing that you can actually do hot laps on, or what I'm doing here, which is just chasing down some of the traffic that again I'm using CSP Flood to do. So great fun. This is Wicklow Mountains, over 40 kilometres in County Wicklow in Ireland. It looks beautiful. Next up then, we're at Pacific Coast. This is 25 kilometres, and Pacific Coast has been out for a little while. This is version 0.95, but I do know Sim Racing 604 showed it very recently. There is another Pacific Coast releasing, and it's going to be imminent. That takes up to version 1, and there's going to be some fantastic updates in that. This version though, the version that's on Race Department at the moment, is one of my favourites. Brilliant to drive, it's great with the traffic on as well. It's a classic, and what's not to like about all this beautiful scenery. So if you haven't got it in your collection, keep an eye out for the updates on Race Department, but this version as it works at the moment is absolutely brilliant too. This is Pacific Coast Highway, and that Subaru, I'm really trying very hard to get past him. I'm not sure I actually managed to do it on this twisty windy roads. Great fun. The last track I'm going to cover here is one of the best and one of the most spectacular ever made. This is Targo Florio. So this is 72 kilometers long, and this is still classed as one of the longest racetracks ever to have existed. The track was originally formulated in 1906, and at the beginning of its history, some of the races were some of the biggest in history. So some of them were 277 miles long, and that was 3 laps of Sicily. The version we're driving here is a later version from the 50s to the 70s, 72 kilometers long. It's point to point, and it's really intense as you need to concentrate on every single one of those corners. So let's take a look at what it looks like when you're really putting your foot to the floor. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. That is 15 of the biggest tracks of free roam open worlds on Assetto Corsa right now. As ever, thank you for all the support you give to the channel, and do check out the rest of the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you very soon.